You know what this looks like? You know what looks top roll, hook, all these look like? They look like rowing motions, right? They look like rowing. Doesn't matter if you're going to the inside, to the outside, but it's rowing motion. So arm wrestling, in other words, is also called pulling. So exercise where you actually pull something closer to your body will be the exercise that actually help you in arm wrestling. Today, we're going to talk about dumbbell rows and different variations that you can do. We touch a little bit on barbell rows, a little bit on resistance bands. Cable rows we'll leave for another video. As I have a match coming up, I'm just going to show things with left side. The classic row, when you do it, you set it up and you're trying to engage your lats. You go backwards. Some people will go like this, some people go like this. But the whole idea is you're pulling your elbow backwards. You're really not trying to engage your bicep by going forward, right? And it looks like this. And it's not the best position for arm wrestling because you're just pulling back. In arm wrestling, we need to keep our angle. We need to keep our back pressure, our elbow flexors involved. So we will do variations where we go here. So you are aiming at your chest or your armpit right here. So you take a dumbbell like this and you go upwards. And you go upwards. So you can see the angle is like this. The classic row would look like this. Oh, I feel my lats engaged like crazy here. Biceps, right? So depending on your goals in any sport, you should adapt to those goals. So when you do something for arm wrestling, it's not just that you have to pull it a little bit differently. You also need to engage your wrist a little bit more. So you can do just a classic rows. It's going to build the strength in this position. You can increase that by adding a wrist flexion. As I'm starting, I'm doing a wrist curl and pulling it up like this. Wrist curl, pulling it up. Hop, hop. You can let it out on tip of your fingertips, pull back, up. This will be the hardest variation you can ever do, except when you put on a fat grip. So fat grips makes everything more difficult, especially because the fat grips, it's a fatter handle, so harder to hold it. You can hold it like this, the classic. You can hold it like this, more cupping. You can add a wrist curl or you don't, depends on you. So if you get your wrist like this, like completely flat, all the tension is on my fingertips. So my fingers now has to do most of the work. For me, this is actually much easier variation. If you want something more on your wrist, either you start and you do a wrist curl like this, or you turn your wrist and then you do your rows. Don't mind the cracking sound in my elbow. It's been there for like 20 years. So all these variations are great. You have to think about like this. What you're trying to train today. If your goal is to hit your back pressure through your fingers, keep your wrist straight. If your goal is to learn yourself that you need to cup your wrist as you're doing your exercise, do it with a wrist curl. If you want to get your wrist stronger while you're pulling something, keep your wrist bent. If you just want to work on your strength off your back, you can add a strap and just pull it up. Just think about like this. If you pull it here, not necessarily will help for arm wrestling. Strong back helps, but doesn't hit where you want it. If you go here, it will definitely do. So this is a great variation. A lot of people will do different variations where they will just use their body, lean down, go up here and go all the way down. Use a bench, use something else. But remember, every time you change position, so let's say my body right now is perpendicular to the floor. If I'm rising, like I will lift it like here. If I'm rising up, you can see the whole position just changed. More I'm up, more position change. So the hardest variation usually is when you are perpendicular to the floor, and this will be the hardest where it hits. You start cheating, you go up. So always I would say train where you are the weakest. That's how you become the strongest. Not everyone will have fat grip. Easy solution is, towel. Take a towel, wrap it around, and just take your grip like this. As you're squeezing it in, it adds extra thickness to what you're trying to achieve. You can wrap it, you can just hold it like this, but like even now, like there is something I can actually press in, and that makes completely different experience where I actually feel like I can engage more on my wrist. So just a towel if you don't have a fat grip, or no need for anything of that too. You can just do it like this, boom, up and down. So dumbbell, great. What's better? Barbell. We have a barbell here. So barbell adds an extra layer of stabilization. As you hold it in the middle, so it doesn't shake from the, you have to stabilize it here. So your forearm is working extra work. You can add much more weight than a dumbbell because the weight is spread out. In some ways it is easier, and yet it's not. You can add a fat grip to it if you want. You can add a towel, whatever. Find a way where it is comfortable for you, because the weight might come at you. But if I'm here and I'll just like this, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up. You can even do like lifts where you touch the ground every single time and then just boom, up, down, So experiment with it. Dumbbells, barbells, they all are great. Most gyms will have any of these. If you run out of the weights to lift with the dumbbell, you can add a barbell. With barbell, for me, it is much easier because the weight is much more spread out. You can add a strap to really, really overload your back pressure. Kettlebells have been forever a great tool to build your hand strength, your wrist strength, and pretty much anything in the body. You can do your rows with a kettlebell, where kettlebell will add extra tension wherever you want it. So I'm taking grip like this, and I'm gonna do my rows, and I'm gonna try to keep my riser up. So a little bit here, a little bit of tension there, like this. And because it is so hard, because the weight trying to fall down, you have extra work on your wrist. You don't have dumbbells, you don't have barbells, you get a kettlebell. You can take bigger ones. It's gonna get much, much harder, really, really easy. But here, if I really wanna work on my back, I'll pull it here and down. So one of the tips I forgot to mention is to keep your elbow close at your side. You always want to pull like this. As soon as you start pulling like this, it's something else you're doing. The arm is so far away, you lost all your matches. You're going into the king's move. Don't worry about it. So kettlebell variation, same things. Just pull it here to the armpit like this. If you want, add more riser, many different variations. We actually run out of weights when we do our rows. So 55 kilos is the maximum weight we have here. So I will put my arm through the kettlebell like this and do some extra weight on it before we get to the barbell. So yeah, those are some variations. This is some things you can do to build your rowing power. If you don't have any of this and you're stuck at home, what can you do? Follow me. So we have a resistance band. The easiest variation you can do is just you step on it here, you step on it here, or down, and just do your rows. Too easy, you can always make it harder, make it double, whatever you want. But like this is just an easy variation how you can work the same things. I like it to do it here. Yeah, we'll do double. I'm pretty strong. That's what my mom said. So you can find a position where you are comfortable and just pull back. And just pull back. If it's too easy and you feel like you're starting to cheat by leaning backwards, this is a very anti-slippery. You hold on to something and you pull back. Hold on to something, pull back, use more weights. But here I can hit all those angles. I can keep my arm up if I want to, and really here engage as much as I can, as much as I should. Good variation you can add to your training if you don't have dumbbells or barbells. Resistance bands are always there for help. All the rowing motions will help you. All the motions where you pull something closer to you will help. As I said, arm wrestling is pulling. Most styles require you to pull your elbow closer to your side, backwards on the pad. So all those things help. And building just that neurokinetic chain will definitely increase your ability in arm wrestling. So yeah, do your rows. Plus, like, strong back has never disappointed anyone. Having a really strong back, looking like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, definitely helps. So yeah, check out those exercises. Tell me if you do them, which is your favorite. Maybe there's a variation you haven't tried. Let me know in the comment section below. Stay strong. Love arm wrestling.